First off, I want to say, fuck you, Cowboys, the Dallas Cowboys. Fuck you. The game doesn't mean shit. I've been getting my text messages, my DMs blown up. 51 to, I don't even remember, man. I went to bed when they scored the 44. But anyway, if J2 Ramirez is in here, good game. But other than that, fuck the Cowboys. But what's going on, people? Happy Sunday. End of NFL. About to be new comic book day. Bubba Fett. I don't even know the episode because I'm not really reading it. But yeah, it's going to be a fun week. CGC is obviously still the talk of the town, so we might touch on that in comic news. But other than that, welcome to the Newbieverse, episode 76, a little rebranding. Big shout outs to BC because he actually helped me with most of the stuff and just bouncing ideas off for a little rebranding. So there's gonna be a few changes coming about in some of the segments and things like that, so be on the lookout for that. Hey, I said Bubba. Yeah, I said Bubba Fett. So yeah, let's bring out the amigos. We got a special guest tonight too, so hopefully everybody can give him a warm welcome. He's always in the chat. Now you'll be able to get a picture, so if you guys don't agree, you guys can go after this guy and Google him or something. But yeah, special guest. Let's bring out the amigo first, and then we'll bring out the special guest. What's going on, Face?
What's going on, man?
Not much, man. Sorry, my phone is blowing up. I think it's just the Cowboy fans.
I mean, you know what though? We're in the playoff. This really didn't matter. We got Tampa Bay, so.
Dude, yeah, I totally forgot about that. Yeah, so the Eagles made the playoffs. We're going up against Tampa to be the best. You got to beat the best. They're the defending champs. So yeah, let's bring it on, man. I could care less.
Yeah, I don't think anybody was really worried about the Cowboys this week.
No. Dude, they rested all their players and things. I wasn't worried. The only thing that I was surprised at, Face, and we are hardcore fans, is the fact that Jacksonville Jaguars beat Colts. So the Colts are actually out of the playoffs.
Yeah,
they lost to Jacksonville. Wow. So that's just fucking hilarious, man. That's just the funniest thing.
There's usually a spoiler team almost every year, so I guess Jacksonville won this year.
Dude, that's crazy. My buddy's a hardcore Bills fan, and he's like, dude, see, we lost to basically a team that takes out playoff teams. I'm like, shut the hell up. That's such a Buffalo Bills thing to say, man. But yeah. So yeah, we actually have a special guest. We actually might have two. One you guys, everybody should know, and the other one is popping the cherry on YouTube. So this is gonna be exciting. So let's bring him out. You guys know him. Like I said, he's in the chats all the time. He's got a lot of knowledge. He's always dropping some stuff. A lot of you guys in the chat have had conversations with him. So let's bring him out. It is none other than Mr. Specs Man. What's up, man?
What's good? How's everybody?
Dude, I can't remember. Are you into football at all or no? Because we usually start our Sundays with football. So
I played college football. So yeah, hell yeah.
Oh, okay. But you're I can't remember. San Fran?
I live in LA.
No, but that San Fran's your team? I can't rember.
No, I don't have an NFL team, bro.
Okay.
I cheer for UCLA, and they're 500 every year. So I'm not trying to be stressed on Saturdays and Sundays, bro.
Right?
They're 500
every year.
500. Oh my God! Hey, Chip Kelly's the coach there, former Eagles coach. He's doing decently, I guess. But yeah, man, that's great, man. Yeah, I totally forgot because when we talked, you had told me because we were shooting the shit about sports and stuff, and yeah, you had told me that you played college ball. So yeah, UCLA Bruin. See, I know my college stuff, man. Up here, everybody thinks that Canadians don't know their shit with college football, but we are huge college fans. Before we get the show started, tomorrow, who you got? Bama or Georgia?
Bama. I mean, how are you gonna think that the
Titans? They're 3-point underdogs. So I don't know. I'm kind of nervous, man. It's gonna be a good game, but I'm kind of nervous. I want to say Georgia, but at the same time, how do you bet against Nick Saban? How do you bet against what is
Heisman Trophy winner?
Yeah, right? Exactly.
Yeah,
right? So
yeah.
It's gonna be.
I'd like to see Georgia do it.
Oh God, I don't know why. I'm not a Bama fan. I'm a Florida fan. Not from Florida. Didn't go to school. That's just my team. But I always, if my team's not in it, I always like to see history. So I'd rather see Bama just get all these titles and then everybody just bitch, man. I don't know. That's just me. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Let's say hello to the chat before we get the show started. Dan taking home the gold. What's going on, Dan? How you doing, brother? Empire taking the silver. Michael taking the bronze, which means all 3 medals are going to the Americans today. Uncanny Swag, copper. Don't kill me, man. I don't have enough for all these medals. Dan, hey, don't laugh. Copper prices are no joke. Wesley, man, you came in 5th. Come on, man. You got to rep the Canadians here. Zen, what's going on, man? How you doing? Magnesium. Phil, how you doing, brother? Tim saying hello to everybody. Good to see everybody here tonight. Nowhere Bound. What is going on? Newbie verse. Participation ribbon. Yeah, we don't have those up here in Canada, man. Fuck. Just Cruz. What's going on, man? I was supposed to go hunting with him this weekend, but he had family obligations, so it's gonna be next weekend. Let's see here. Bleeker, what's going on, man? How you doing, brother? I actually saw Bleeker this morning when I went to his spot, but I had to leave quickly. Family stuff came up, so yeah, I kind of had to leave. Mr. Vancouver Comic Junkie, what's going on, man? How you doing, brother? Dun 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 dun. RP Pacino, my team winning it this year. Pacino, who's your team again? I can't remember. As long as it's not the Cowboys, I'm good with that. The Eagles, dang dirty Sanchez. Come on, man. Oh, geez. Broncos fired their coach finally. Yeah. I think he was like 12 wins in the 3 years or something like that. So, yeah. Bills suck. There's a reason this was addressed in the X-Files. Dude, I don't remember watching the X-Files and then talking about the Bills. Miguel, what's going on, brother? How you doing? Specsman. Yeah, Dan. There you go. Now you know what Specsman looks like. Wesley, yo, Specsman's in the building. College baller, better than CFL. 100%. Roll Tide. Yeah, I'm a Packers fan. Okay, all right. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Me personally, I would love to see Aaron Rodgers get another ring, just so it kind of puts him in that next step. So hopefully he gets it. I don't want to see Tampa win it again. I definitely don't want to see LA win it. I don't want to see Arizona. I mean, if Arizona won it, I'd be okay with it. But other than that, it's Green Bay or Philly for me. That's pretty much it. As long as the Chiefs don't win either, I'm good. So, all right. We got another special guest, actually. I'm actually excited because we were just talking. But it is none other than Mr. Vancouver. What's happening, brother?
Not too much. Oh, sorry. I got to set up my headphones.
Yeah, dude. Like, you got to come prepared here. Let's go. Come on.
I'm not prepared.
Southpaw, what's going on? Steelers. Oh, God. Chiefs. Come on, man. My brother-in-law's a Chiefs fan, and it is annoying as hell because he's always like, Chiefs, Mahomes, this. That's a terrible – if he's watching, that's a terrible impression of my brother-in-law, but, you know.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think we can all hear you.
Hey, Specs man, I've been dying to meet you.
Yeah, what's
I've
up,
only
man?
heard
How
great
are you?
things. It's good to meet you.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate
That's right.
it.
Yeah. Everybody, yo, he's popping the cherry here in the Newbieverse, man. He's always in the chat now. You guys can ask him questions here. So yeah, I like the fact that it's, you know, two guys with no glasses versus 2 guys with glasses. So I appreciate that. You guys are wearing black too. So I mean,
We're obviously smarter than both of you because of the glasses.
Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah. Okay. I had this guy who was on the swimming team in my high school once say that because he had glasses. Somebody made fun of him and he's like, you know, I'm smarter than you because I have glasses. And it was funny because like I didn't even say anything to this guy. I didn't know that he had a back and forth. I was just walking through the gym and he said that to me and I was like, oh okay.
So he's just a piece of shit?
I guess. Yeah. That's kind of what I took away from it. So I don't know. Yeah.
Did he wear glasses while he was swimming and shit?
No, he came out of the pool. Yeah,
That wouldn't be very smart.
Yeah, FaceTime nails it.
You know what that reminded me of? Have you guys there's that, like, it's a meme, I guess, but there's that iconic picture of that swimmer who's in the water and she's got like the water bottle and she's like spraying it on her.
You
Like, you guys
realize
know
you
what I'm
poured a
talking
shitload of water on yourself, bro.
Yeah.
No, I'm just trying to play it off, man. There's a few drops. That's it. There's a few drops. Goddamn caps, man.
That's like the Chris Bosch meme. The Chris Bosch with the champagne.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's bad. But guys, thanks for joining. So we got New Comic Book Day. We got 7 books to talk about really quickly. Comic news, a little bit of spec, and then we can chat. You know, CGC, obviously, being at the forefront of everything. The Boba Fett show that everybody keeps talking about. So if we have time, but you guys know how I roll with Star Wars, so maybe we don't have enough time for that. Chris, I asked everybody, but good weekend, bad weekend. How'd you do this weekend?
Like buying comics or just like living life?
Yeah, just in general.
That was good. It was really laid back. I didn't really do a lot, quite frankly. It was like I've had like 2.5 weeks off now, and I'm kind of losing my fucking mind. So I'm not used to having time off. So,
dude, me neither, man. It's
making me nuts, actually.
Yeah, it's annoying because like I'm one of those people. I wake up and I can do like my whole like to-do list for the day by like 11 a.m. and then I'm
the
like,
same way.
What the hell do I do now?
Yeah.
So it is what it is. Well, let's
nap time.
Nap
Yeah,
time.
I've been doing lots of naps. It's been awesome. That part's good.
Now, what are you guys, cats?
Dude, I'd be the king of naps. I love naps.
Jesus Christ.
There's nothing wrong with that at all.
No, I guess.
Wait
All
till
right.
you're in your 40s.
In my 40s.
Wait till you're in your 40s. You'll like naps.
I'm closer to 40 than I am
No, you're
20, I guess.
20.
I'm 33, so I guess I'm closer to 40 than
I'm closer
I am.
to 50 than I am 10.
That's disgusting. That's disgusting. All right. Well, let me just get everything going here. Boom, boom, boom. And hey, thanks for joining us today, guys. Specs Man, Chris, thanks for joining, man. It's going to be a good show. So we got a little rebranding, talking to my guy, BC. This is probably not going to be the final stuff, but just going to bring up the material a little bit, I guess. So, yeah. If you see anything that, looks a little new, hey, well, that was probably BC talking to me. So, yeah, collaboration and a little help from him. So, yeah. Thanks, Chris. No, I'm just kidding. All right. Let's start. First up, Big B Comics, channel sponsor. Make sure you guys go check them out. Actually, guys, if you're in the area and you're kind of looking for some of these, ratios that are really hot lately, they got you covered because they had me covered the last like 2 weeks. They didn't have me covered in Thor 20 or the Timeless one, but they had me covered for a few books now. So make sure you guys go check them out. You'll be surprised at what they have. So make sure. And they also do ship to Australia, Europe, US, and South America. So make sure you guys tune in wherever you're tuning in from. Also, Bleeker St Comics, $10 a press, $5 a clean. Make sure you guys go check them out. He is also at the flea market, Turner Street in St. Catharines. So if you're ever in the Niagara area here, he's got about 3,000 books. Make sure you guys go check out the site, plus BleekerStreetComics.com. All right, guys, let's kick it off. Chris, I know you're not the biggest guy on modern. You're more of a, let me hear the information kind of thing. So if you don't have anything to say about any of these books or anything, just, it's okay.
It's okay. Yeah.
But first up, we got Rain #1. It is a #1. It is an Image title. A lot of people just be picking these #1s up, man. I'm skipping it. BC is not picking it up because when we talked about it, I know he didn't even have this one on his radar. I'm not picking it up. He's not picking it up. Probably Face might be the only one picking it up, but it is a #1, so that kind of intrigues people. Chris, anything to add? Grabbing it. What do you think?
It's a Joe Hill book?
Yeah, I think so.
I'd consider it for that alone, but that's it. Otherwise, yeah.
It's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not big on like new stuff anyway.
Not
right?
at all.
Like,
No, I don't pick
do
up.
you want to tell people that how you got burned maybe a few weeks ago?
Oh yeah, no, I ended up buying that piece of shit Avengers Forever, like about 10 copies. Like, woo! I was gonna rule the world.
Captain
Did
Carter
not
thing.
work out. Yeah.
Okay, hold on. That's not all of it though. He also picked up 2 1 in 50s.
Oh yeah, I picked up 2 1 in 50s as well. Yeah, so it's even worse. So anyone want those? So yeah, that was my dip my toes into this new bullshit.
It was, yeah. But hey, I mean that's the risk we take, right?
No, totally. It's on me, man. Like it is what it is.
Well, there was some misinformation that came out about that too. Like there was a lot of people that I guess were getting reports that was going to be, where she showed up or some shit like that. And yeah, it just didn't happen in the end, I guess. So
yeah.
Hey, similar stuff could be said about the book that came out last week too, right? With Thor. I mean,
but I will say, hey guys, that Miracle Man thing on what was it, Timeless #1?
Yeah.
Whatever the next book is where Miracle Man shows up, I think I'm going to buy pretty heavy on that, whatever it is.
Really?
Miracle Man's a thing, man, for me.
Because it's just a logo, right?
It's just a logo, yeah.
That's what
So
they
like,
show.
if he shows up in something, yeah, I'll buy that. I just don't know when that's happening, so I'm not in on it.
Specs, what do you think? Rain 1, worth it or no?
No.
No.
I mean, look, I probably ordered 2 or 3, right, at a discount, of course, right? I mean, Rising Stars from Kanto and Haha, obviously decent books. Just the solicitation doesn't get me. They just did this like a book just like this, right? Like the Bonnie and Clyde book. I've heard like what's the furthest from truth or whatever it's called. So, like a non-comic writer, New York Times bestseller. I don't know if that's a writer from Kanto and obviously the writer from Haha. I mean, I probably will pick up 3 or 4 copies. I think I ordered 3 or 4 at a discount. Probably won't read it, throw it in a long box, and cross my fingers. That is like my minimum bar for all indie #1s. Out of like so, I don't know. This synopsis and solicitation didn't appeal to me. So,
but that happens though with a lot of indies and stuff like that. That's what happens. You get, and that's why I always bring them up and put them there, because like a lot of people might forget or they're not in it. But there's a lot of people out there that it's an indie. I'm gonna just buy 1 or buy 2, put it in the long box, and see you later, right? And that's what kind of happens with a lot of these books. And they kind of sometimes they pop and sometimes they don't, but more often than not they pop. So
Are they like impaled by a clothing hanger rack or something on the cover?
Yeah,
something. Yeah, there's definitely something impaling them.
Yeah, I thought somebody would have mentioned that, but yeah, I don't know. It looks like I don't know, man.
This is one of those weird books.
Having looked at some of the other covers for this, it looks like it has something to do with like some kind of weird crystal rain or something. I don't fucking know. Yeah. But there's some covers.
Is it connecting covers?
No. It's just that there's other covers that have like this crystal rain on it.
Gotcha.
So I don't know if that's a thing for the series or not.
Are you picking this up?
Yes, but I'm actually picking it up kind of accidentally. So it's Joe Hill, obviously, and that's Stephen King's son. He's done some work over at DC with like Basketball Ahead, and I think a couple other series over there that have been fairly decent horror books. So I grabbed it, put it on the pull list just based on the premise that it was Joe Hill alone. I didn't really look at the synopsis for it or anything like that. I don't think this is going to be his typical style of horror book, looking at the cover and the synopsis and everything.
Yeah.
But I got it coming now, so I guess I'll check it out and we'll see.
Why would Joe Hill publish a book on Image when he has his own sub-publisher at DC?
I know, right? It's kind of weird.
Yeah, it doesn't. I mean, this is like the more I read the solicitation, look at the cover, this is like every girl you meet in LA vibes. Like into crystals, like just moved in with her girlfriend, skirt, like combat boots, short haircut. So
sounds about right.
Also, I totally forgot, because usually I start the show off by saying, hey, light week, heavy week, and all that. We're all probably going to have different ideas, but I think that there is one book, and I left it till the end, and it's probably going to be the book. It's a 1 in 10. I'm not going to say the title yet. We're going to get to it. But if you were ahead of the curve, and big shout outs to Specs, Hawaiian Punch, you guys were, ahead of the curve on that one. And like, I was actually able to pick one up. It is a 1 in 10. So, we'll see, but we will talk about it. Probably the biggest book of the week, I think. But, we also have, Face and Specs who pick up everything as well. So they might have different opinions, but we'll see. Next book, Department of Truth, still an Image title. We are at, I believe it is issue number 15 now? Yeah, it says 15 right there. Yeah. Face, you're still on this. This is a very popular run. A lot of people are still on it. I'm assuming you still are, right?
Oh, hell yeah. Definitely. I mean, I've been loving Department of Truth. It's been a pretty good series. So.
Specs, how about you?
Yeah, I mean, it's all my buddies that don't read comics, I recommend them this book. It's a good gateway drug back into comics. My concern, I mean, I think I only got one. My concern is that the illustrator's changing, right? And like the whole entire appeal of Department of Truth, like the stories are cool and they're complex and they're dense, but like the art is amazing. And the fact that like it reads like a permanent change, right? It reads like fan favorite illustrator joins Eisner Award-winning writer to reveal the, so hopefully it's not a permanent change. Who is it? Sorrentino that does the interiors, or for the most part. But I mean, I always pick up a copy. It's a fun, interesting read. It's a different mindset when you go into reading it. But like, I'm done with the variants. I'm done with the incentives. I'm done with like, I was never on the store exclusives, and yeah. So,
Chris, how about you? You are.
I'm actually reading this.
Are you?
Reading this. Yeah, this is a book I pick up when it comes out, and I love it. I think it's great.
Does it scare you that there's going to be like a new artist on it and things like that?
Yeah, absolutely, because that's like the vibe of the whole comic. It's like, honestly, I have to be honest. When I first read it, I was like, "This art fucking sucks." Like it looked at first, and then I absolutely fell in love with it. It was like its own.
Yeah, it grows on you. It's weird.
It totally grows on you, like almost immediately, because it just like sinks in so well with the writing. And yeah, I love this series. I'm a little nervous about the new artist, but I'll read it still.
It does. So before I read like the description there and everything like that, when I was getting everything ready, and I actually just was getting the images, when I saw this, I was like, this doesn't look like Department of Truth. Like, it looks so different. Then when I read it, so like you already have, like, if you weren't familiar with it or you didn't know what was happening, you could see the change in the art, right? Because this doesn't look like previous I was gonna say episodes, previous issues. So we'll see what happens. I mean, sometimes it can get people off of it, right? But hopefully the story still kicks ass, and people still pick it up.
Agreed.
All right, Justice League versus the Legion of Superheroes. I'm not picking this up. There's not many DC books that I do pick up, but if you look on the cover, there are some golden lanterns there. It's been, I don't know, Face has more information on it when it gets to him. He's usually the DC guy. Specs Man, what are you thinking?
I'm not picking it up.
No.
I really like Jessica Cruz. I mean, this is obviously a continuation. I think she joined the Yellow Lantern Corps a couple issues ago in Green Lantern, which I got a bunch of the variants for that. I really like Jessica Cruz, but I don't know, man. DC's just got too much of this stuff going on for me to care, So I'm not picking it up.
Not a fan of the Golden Lanterns, huh?
No, I'm cool with the Golden Lanterns, and I'm cool with Jessica Cruz. I mean, that's like fake chick from Alpha Flight on the left over there. Like, I don't know who that is on the top right. There's Thor that like dyed his hair and got a haircut on the right. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know who these people are. So this is not for me. It does. It looks like the Vindicator, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
Like a female Vindicator on the left.
I was kind of more, on the Thor with a haircut there. Started drinking, maybe, wearing all black. But Chris, how about you, man? Are you?
I gotta be honest, man. Like, I like DC, I do, and I collect a lot of old DC at times. But you could literally, there could be a comic called Shit with a piece of shit on it, and I'd buy that over this book. It's it just looks boring as hell to me, man. I feel like I've seen this book 100 times over the last 30 years. So that's just how I feel. Sorry if I got a little hardcore there.
Oh, no, that was probably the best thing that's ever happened on this channel.
Wait, Vindicator isn't on like your guys' $10 bill or some shit?
No.
Is he like a national hero up there?
Oh, that's the other thing I was worried about. I think this is also like a $5.99. I could be $3.99. Okay, never mind. I think I'm thinking of the wrong book. But yeah, Face, how about you, man? You picking this one up?
Yeah, I'm picking it up, but the only reason I'm picking it up is because there's a line in the synopsis about the Great Darkness, which, if I remember right, ties into some shit with that they did in the Future State, having to do with Raven and everything like that. So I kind of want to check this out and see if that's where this storyline's headed. If not, then I'll probably just go ahead and jump off of it, and because it really doesn't look like that significant of a series. No. I mean, I know it says it's a monumental DC epic event, but for fuck's sake, it says that about every single goddamn event that they've ever done.
Yeah. everybody's like a Dana White when it comes to the descriptions on some shit, man. It's like
Yeah, it's all groundbreaking.
You have to sell the book somewhere. Yeah, you got to sell it somewhere.
Yeah.
Face, there is a DC book that you wanted to talk about that I know is not on the list because I think there's only like 3 more books. But there's another DC book that you wanted to talk about. There might be some significance there.
Oh, well, actually, it was just a cover that, in looking for it was coming up sold out on a lot of places. It was just a Batman Urban Legends 11. I think it's the B cover.
Okay.
It's like got Ace the Bat-Hound on it. So a lot of people seem to be picking that up. So be worth keeping an eye out for.
The problem with DC, and I think, me and Chris have had this conversation. Well, actually, I think we all might have had this conversation with, me at some point in different times. But like the thing with DC is like they constantly just bring out these new titles and they constantly bring out all these new first appearances and characters. And it's just kind of like draining. Like people quickly forget, I remember having conversations with people. Keys, if you're watching or you're not watching, I know you were kind of one of them, but like Clown Hunter, everybody was crazy about Clown Hunter. Remember, he's going to change. Not to say Keys said, he was going to change DC or anything, but there were people out there that were like, man, Clown Hunter's going to do this. Punchline is going to change DC. Miracle Molly's going to. It's like, okay, because you can outside of like Punchline, you can still find those books, relatively cheap. So,
yeah,
I don't know. That's just my thing with it. I mean,
and DC's doing. I don't know. They're just doing some weird shit right now where they're publishing a fuck ton of miniseries and like just really.
And it all feels the same, right?
Yeah.
That's how I feel too.
Yeah. And the covers, Chris, like to your point though, a lot of the covers do seem like this one. When I saw it, I'm like, in my head, I was like, I think I've already like talked about this. Like,
yeah, and it's great art. It is actually really good art. Like, I think DC for years have just been like run corporately on a level. Like, it doesn't feel like there's somebody in charge of it, in my opinion, the whole thing. And it feels that way. It feels like it's run by suits, and they're just throwing shit against the wall, hoping something sticks. And whenever anything sticks, they just go after that for the next 5 years.
Yeah. It depends what you eat, right? That's what makes it stick.
So. Yeah, exactly.
DC has the best. I think it has better writing and better art than Marvel, but the characters aren't. Yeah, I mean, like if you look at the mainline titles, right? And you look at it.
I haven't read it in a long time, so I apologize if I'm shitting on stuff.
No. But like that's the problem is that like the characters aren't as compelling, and they have this whole entire mythology that they constantly reference, which like I didn't read all the last 17 Superman miniseries, so I have no idea what's going on that they're referencing here, right? And so like but like book to book, art to art, I think the DC is better. Like when I pick up a DC book and know what the fuck is going on, I'm like, oh, this is really good compared to like an average Avengers book. Like Dark Knights of Steel is an amazing book. It's really good. It's a really good read because it's set in a different universe, but it's just like I can't keep track of all these people, and I don't read enough DC to like understand their universe, and it's so universe driven. So I don't know how they.
Specs, I think you hit it on the nail there too, right? Where like you don't want to have to pick up like 17 miniseries in order to know what's going on like currently, right? So yeah, I haven't read Superman in a long time. I'm not the biggest Superman guy. So all right, number 1, Marvel's Heritage. The last couple that have come out with this title have, garnered a few bucks here and there. There was the Latino one. This one is the Indigenous one, right? The Indigenous talent one.
Believe
so, yeah. Grab it? Are you guys connecting everything together? What are you guys doing? Specs?
Yeah, I grabbed a few copies. There's a David Mack cover with Echo on the front, I think. And like, I'm a sucker for anything David Mack, so I grabbed that one. I grabbed a few copies. I think this is $7.99 cover, by the way.
Yeah, it's a pricey one, man. Yeah,
yeah. I'm like very in tuned and like trying to figure out what's going on with Echo, and she has her miniseries going on, and seems like the origin of River, who's heavy in her miniseries as well. So I'm interested there, but yeah, I mean. The problem with these books is that if they were $3.99, I grab 10 each and just hope that the next one is the next, Marvel Point 1 or Marvel Now Point 1. But at $7.99, I mean that's where you get into trouble, in trying to stack them. Because I would take the risk and roll the dice, but not at double the average cover, right? So I got a few, but I'm not holding out that this is some amazing book.
What is it about this book that would be interesting to anyone?
So what they do with these is like they had like the Latino one. I think it was like a month ago. Like it's just basically like a heritage one. So like this.
But are they trying out new characters or anything?
Well, Specs actually reads it. I haven't read this or anything leading up to it, so
I actually read the goddamn comic book. No, I think for me, you know, like I'm just going to assume that Echo's going to have longevity in the MCU, right? And at a certain point, yes, she's going to be tied to Daredevil and Kingpin, and but she doesn't have her own universe yet, right? She doesn't have her own cast of characters and her own kind of rogues gallery and that kind of stuff. So I went heavy on Phoenix Song Echo #1 because it's the first appearance of River, and this seems to be his origin story, right? And so just that kind of, you know, I mean, if River ever becomes a thing, this will be a key just because it's his origin, and it's a $7.99 cover that probably, you know, people didn't order 1,000 of. I think that you know, they've been doing too many of these $7.99 covers, right? Between Pride, Indigenous, African American History Month, and like nothing wrong, Asian and Pacific Islander history, you know, all that stuff. So I can't imagine the order numbers are high on these books, right?
Can't
and
either.
So like you hit the right one and you get a couple copies of it, like, you know, in 2.5 years, that's, you know, these types of books become $200, $300 books raw. And so yeah, just buying a few copies, seeing what's going on.
Specs actually put me on that Echo book to begin with, like that the her solo series that's just now, like the Rising, what was it? Phoenix
Song Echo.
Yeah, that one. I picked up a few, and if you guys remember too, the one in somebody correct me. I think it's the 1 in 25 ratio variant actually was on the top 10 list for pretty much everything when the book came out. It was selling for about $80 to $120 Canadian when it came out. So there is some backing behind it. So yeah, the
Klimp, the Kiss homage.
My
problem is I ordered 75 of them, and all 3 of my 1 in 25s are like 9.4, 9.6s. So I'm pissed. But, you know, it is.
Ouch.
Yeah, it is what it is.
In there.
So, yeah.
Damn.
I just did 2 9.8 pre-screens, and I went through the same thing. I was shocked at how many books weren't 9.8s. It
But do you think that's because of like how they're doing business now? Because a lot of people are saying, and we could talk about this in the news portion.
Yeah, of course.
A lot of people are saying it is now harder to get 9.8s.
Yeah. I don't think it's any harder. I think honestly, it's just, I don't know. I mean, I think we're always wishful of our own books, you know, until you actually really look at them. Yeah. Is really what it is.
Like, it's like I've been not training, but like teaching my partner on how she can grade books, because I want to hand her books and like objectively look at this and tell me if it's a 9.8 or not, because I see what the fuck I want to see. Right. Yeah. And my last pre-screen, I did 24, 25, and I got the one that didn't pre-screen a 9.8. I looked at it, I'm like, what in my mind told me that this is going to be a 9.8, you know? and so
wishful thinking.
Yeah. Wishful thinking, of course.
That's all it is, man. Yeah. I got someone else who grades them for me, so I'm just out now. So it's good.
Face, really quickly, man. Thoughts on Voices Heritage 1?
Yeah, I'm definitely picking it up. I mean, I've picked up pretty much all of these, and they haven't, like, there's been some significance in several of them. I think what was it? Wasn't there was one here not too long ago? I think it was the LGBT one that introduced a new character.
I thought the last one was the Latino one.
Yeah,
that might have been the last one. I don't know, but I know a lot too long ago there was another one that introduced some new characters, and obviously it goes into the origin in some newer characters. So it's definitely worth picking up and checking out. Yeah, it's the $7.99 price tag though. That's a motherfucker right there.
I might wait till like the end of the week where like I could maybe go to a shop owner and be like, hey man, like, do you want $3 for it?
I mean, I'm the biggest. I mean, the last thing I'll say on this book, I'm the biggest proponent of pre-ordering, and this is a classic example of getting in your like 20% to 30% off pre-orders.
Exactly. Yeah,
because you're saving multiple dollars, right? On a $4.99 cover at 30% off, you're saving $1.20. At 30% off at $8, you're that's USD, of course. You're saving $2.50. That's almost another comic you can buy.
Yep.
Right. And so there's plenty of sites that can do that with you can go on TFAW before FOC, get it for 30% off. You can get it for 20 after that. Like, these are classic examples of high cover price books where the pre-order discount matters a lot.
Yeah. There's also like, and Specs, I know you have mentioned it. I know there's two other people, and I can't remember. I'd have to go into my messages to look, and even Manny, actually, he posted it on his Instagram, but like, my comic shop actually has these books. Like, you could pre-order, they're there. Like, people were going crazy for Thor 20, but they uploaded like a bunch of Thor 20s, $3.99, even while people were still paying like $50. So sometimes just have to go and check, right? So don't always jump to eBay is what I'm trying to get at.
And a little hint I will give everybody is it's not that hard to get a Diamond account. Like, it's not. Like, I have one. I don't have a shop. So, like, if you really about it, like, you can go and get a Diamond.
We got him.
Yeah, no shit. Just kidding. Like, I mean, maybe in Canada, but I get 53% off all my books, and I go pick them up Tuesday morning at 6 a.m. So it's not that hard.
Damn. Okay. By the
how
way,
many books a week do you buy on average?
I spend it's $2,400 to get 53% off in a month, and that's cover. That's not at the discounted rate. So I definitely, so all you really have to spend is $1,100, $1,200 a month on new comic book day books.
Actually, that's not crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to do, actually.
Chris, don't go down the rabbit hole, man. Don't go.
I was just like dreaming for a second. Yeah,
he's like,
that's
wait
what
a
I need.
minute.
Yeah, I need to buy a second house.
All right, Daredevil, Woman Without Fear, finally getting her own thing going. I mean, she's got more clothing nowadays, right? Not like the old Elektra, but number one, white cover. It's probably going to be sought after. I don't remember what the ratios look like. Last week's Elektra, what was it? White, red, black, or whatever. That was awesome. A lot of people were picking that up. That book made it to a lot of top 10s. Now she's getting her own thing here as Daredevil. Specs, what are you saying?
Chip Zdarsky. I mean, I'm gonna be down. I ordered I think 8 or 9 copies of this. My problem is that I realized is that I was reading, and this is where speculation goes wrong, so it doesn't always go right. Mm-hmm. I thought that this was going to come out after Devil's Reign, which I thought the spin out, which they mentioned from Devil's Reign, was that Matt Murdock was back locked up. He's dead. He's somewhere else, and she was going to be Daredevil for a while, right? This is a 5-book miniseries, and it's coming out kind of right in the middle of Devil's Reign, so it's much more of a miniseries tie-in than it is like the aftermath as it reads. So this was just my bad not looking at like the cadence in which books were coming out. But I mean, I still fuck with it. I still like Elektra. I still think that like her Daredevil costume is dope. So I got a few copies. I'll definitely be reading it and see what happens. And we'll talk about it in a little bit, like in some of the other books that are coming out, or I'll mention them. But like Marvel's falling into a little bit of a pattern in these miniseries that I'll mention in a little bit, but it's something to keep an eye on. So we'll talk about it. But
interested.
Yeah.
Chris, big Elektra fan. I know you have been telling me, to get a Daredevil 168 for the longest time. You are a big fan of the character. What are your thoughts on this miniseries here now that she's Daredevil?
I believe he does not know that he's muted.
I just muted. Sorry. You know me. I'd probably just put my money towards a 168. So,
yeah.
Personally,
Daredevil 25 worth anything now?
Yes, in my personal opinion.
Yeah, it is absolutely.
Not Daredevil 25 of.
No, I know the new one.
Oh, okay.
The back one. Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know. I wasn't trying to offend you.
4 or 5 of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they're still selling for like $30 or so.
Yep.
Yeah. They've got a premium on them, so there's some value to there. As far as this series and the tie-ins, Devil's Reign and everything, I mean, obviously Chip Zdarsky's writing it. It's been a great run so far. I would imagine that that's going to continue through this miniseries. This is what is it? 3 issues, 5 issues, something like that. Pretty short. The synopsis sounds like basically you're going to be basically getting Elektra versus Kraven. which I don't know how impactful that's going to be to the huge overarching story or anything like that. But Chip Zdarsky writing Elektra versus Kraven, this should be a really good fucking story. So I'm gonna pick it up on that basis alone and hope that it's as good as I want it to be. Yeah. I don't know if there's a whole lot of spec value, but we'll see.
Emmanuel, I gotta disagree. She's been Daredevil for a year.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
and
she's been for a while now.
Yeah, because it's 25. 36 was the last book in the run before Devil's Reign. Devil's Reign #2 just came out, so it's been out like Daredevil 36 came out 2 months ago. So yeah, you're looking at over a year in which she's been Daredevil or Daredevil with Daredevil. So I don't think it's.
I remember when the book actually first came out. And Face, correct me if I'm wrong. We were all like, "Oh my god, this again! Like, why are they going this route again? And how long is this gonna like?" Because that was the conversation for about like 2-3 months. Was like, how long is she gonna be? And yeah, she's been holding down the title for almost a year now, right? So
yeah,
we'll see. It's working.
I mean, I like the moral dilemma she has now compared to Matt Murdock, who we know he's not going to kill anyone. We've known that for 40 years. Like, she's actually struggling within the books now, right? Like, and it's kind of it's a very Zdarsky thing to do, but
that's the thing too, because it's like it kind of feels like a storyline that there's been similar storylines or stuff that's been pretty close, but just the way he's approaching it and keeping both characters as playing a role, as Daredevil and everything like that, like it's a really good take on it. Zdarsky's fucking killing this run.
Yeah. All right. I want everybody to get their pencils out. This is the last book for New Comic Book Day before we get into comic news. Chris, I hope you're paying attention because you luck out, and this might be one of the books you need to be on the lookout for. Okay. Yeah, newbie. Thank you. Don't worry about it, Chris. I got you. I always got you. Okay. All right. We got a first appearance, plus if you're able to actually get the 1 in 10, you're going to get the first appearance plus the first cover. We all know Blade is coming. We all know that horror world is starting, the vampires, all that. We've talked about certain characters like Blade, Elsa Bloodstone. Well, we finally got another member to that family. Oh, shit. Okay, hold on. No, we'll go to the book. I forgot about that Star Wars book. Never mind.
You just fucked that all up.
We'll go to this one. Shit, we'll go to this one. All right, we got Doctor Strange.
He got so excited he completely forgot his fucking slide.
Totally forgot. All right. You could tell I love Star Wars, right? All right. We've got Death of Doctor Strange, Bloodstone 1. It is Italian. The book on the left with her and the gray hair, that's Elsa, obviously in the red hair. That's the cover A. It's still a smoking book. If you're a big fan of Elsa, you know that she is not on a lot of covers. So this is definitely worth a pickup anyway because she is on the cover. She's got the red hair. I think there's 3 books with her with red hair. So, be on the lookout. The 1 in 10, though, that's already going for about $80 Canadian on eBay. And that was about 3-4 days ago. I'm not sure where it is now, but if you jumped on this a week ago, you were still able to. I was able to actually get one from Big B. They charged me $6 Canadian for it. So I'm pretty happy. But it definitely is one of the books to be on the lookout for. I think this is going to be the winner of the week. So her name is Lyra, Lyra. Lyra Bloodstone. So she is another child. Who knows where this character ends up in, say, the big screen. But comic-wise, this is probably going to be one of the books that's going to be seen in top 10 list. It's going to be hot. Like I said, it's already at $60 to $80 Canadian. By the time Wednesday comes, don't be surprised as books get up there. They usually get in that 120 range, somewhere around there. So, Specs, you talk to me about this book. What are your thoughts? How many did you get? How many you A-OK in me? Let me know.
I got 30.
Wait, hold on. 31 in 10s?
No, 30 total to get 3.
Oh, okay. So you got 3 1 in 10s. Right. Okay.
I'm trying to think because there's a lot of thoughts I have on this. First and foremost, one thing we have to remember is that the Bloodstone family is a big piece of comic books. It's not just Elsa, right? Like, America Chavez's sister popped out. America Chavez, born in the USA, #3, and it's like, okay, that's her sister. Maybe it means something, maybe it doesn't. But like the Bloodstone family, her dad was in comics before she was, right? And so it is a
Marvel presents one.
Yes, it is a family, right? So keep in mind that like the sister, I think, means a little bit more with the Bloodstones than it does for relatives and other characters. That's the first piece. Number two, I know that some of I have an LCS. I go and I still buy books from them. I buy my reader copies, right, from them just to support them, whatever. I know they specifically, when they have these 1 in 10 design variants, don't price them up, right? Because there's so many design variants you can order, right? So, and it's a bigger shop, so they probably order 40, 50 copies of this book. And they, whoever did the ordering might not be doing the sorting, right? And so you can look to find this on shelves, right? Like, don't automatically assume and go run to eBay and buy it for 60 and cross your fingers. I think if you're paying any more than let's say double ratio, anything more than 20, you probably should chill for a little bit because, this is a tie-in to a story, blah, blah, blah. But, I don't know how everybody else's LCS does pull list, but pull list is usually, I'll take everything in this title or everything with this character, right? And I doubt very many people have a pull list that says, give me every Elsa Bloodstone book, because there just aren't any, right? So I don't imagine that the average shop ordered a ton of these. But all in all, yes, I ordered 30. But another example is I saw what the ratio was going for before I even pre-ordered them. And 1 in 10 covered 30 books. So now I have 2 1 in 10s and 27 A covers. All right, I got the B cover is actually pretty tight, so I got a mix. Now I have 27 free books because I have 1 in 10, right? And so if you're pre-ordering, doing whatever, that's always something I look at a lot. But I like her. I've been reading the story. I've been reading all the tie-ins. All the tie-ins aren't necessarily great, but yeah. So sorry for the long monologue, but a lot of thoughts on this shit. So yeah.
Chris, I know you're big on Elsa Bloodstone and the horror world and all that. Yep, right there, 9.8. God damn it. What are your thoughts on this character? Because like Matrix Comics just said, right? People have already abandoned Cullen, right?
That's bullshit. That's bullshit. No one's abandoned Cullen.
Avengers
Arena number 1. Do you have that?
Yeah, mine's at CGC.
Yeah, and I'm all over that whole family. Yeah. And I'm with Specsman on this. I actually bought 3 of these, which was a lot for me to buy.
Cover A or 1 in 10s?
Cover A. No. Just picked it up off my LCS. But I think this is a great book. And I believe in this world a lot. I think the horror universe could be huge over the next 10 years. And it's a great buy. It's just a great buy.
I'm gonna just let you in on a little numbers game. Even around here, there's not a lot of shops that ordered a lot of these, and like I just mentioned, there's not a lot of Elsa Bloodstone covers. So even if you can't get the 1 in 10, I would strongly suggest picking up that cover A, because it's her there. It's her with the red hair. You guys know how it works, right? A character shows up, and even though Elsa hasn't shown up yet, but when and if she does, anything and everything, including her family, which has a first appearance, could blow up. This one could be. So don't be discouraged if you weren't able to get a 1 in 10.
I think all her keys though, like everything, is well worth picking up right now. Still, I think she's got massive future ahead of her.
Oh yeah,
massive. So yeah, grab them. Yeah, I think Specsman was smart. He grabbed 30 for God's sakes. Amazing, smart man.
Face, how many did you get? Did you get 30?
No, I did not get 30, but we do have several of them coming. My girlfriend actually is a pretty big Elsa Bloodstone fan, so she had to get all the different covers and everything like that. So of course we got the 1 in 10, the B cover, which the B cover to this is actually pretty cool too. And of course the A cover. You guys have already pretty much covered it. The horror universe is a thing. People are getting excited about it. I love the horror stuff, so I'm kind of excited about it too. Feels like Elsa Bloodstone's probably going to be at least play a factor in that side of the universe whenever it eventually builds itself up and everything like that. So yeah, her relatives and everything like that, obviously they're cool, first appearances to have and everything like that. The only thing with this one I would say is, like, given the previews that have come out for this issue and everything, so far she kind of seems like a civilian, but that's something that can change at any point in time too. And they kind of play like, you know, given the preview, the way they play the relationship, it almost feels like she might have a little bit of maybe sort of an in training vibe in the future. So who knows?
You know what? Who Lyra kind of reminds me of Honey Badger, like just in looking at reading this list, which is Laura Kenny's sister.
Yeah, like a sidekick or a trainee or something.
Yeah, exactly, right. And like I'm looking at I have the first appearance of Honey Badger right now, and it's a $200 book, you know, in 9.8, right? And so.
I always look at I always try to look at big picture though, like, and even though she wasn't a sidekick, right? But like, you know, you always have to look at different demographics as well, right? So for example, I took my wife to go see Eternals, right? Simply because all my buddies didn't want to get vaccinated, so they couldn't get into theaters. Anyway, so I went with my wife, and like, even though I forget her name, but the little one, I forget her name, right? She kind of had some scenes where she stole the show with like some of her like comebacks or things that she said. So like, even though like she wasn't like, say, a mainstream character or anything like that, like it did steal the show for some people who might not have that demographic. So if you look at people who are just getting into comics, right? Because every day people are getting into this hobby. We always have to remember that. But this could be something, could be nothing. Just, you know, it's selling for $60 to $80 now. So why not? And, you know, the comparison that you made with Laura Kinney, yeah, it's kind of the same, like a supporting cast character. I mean, who's to say it doesn't blow up, right? So
yeah, and not every book has to be like 10x in value in the first week.
No,
you know
exactly.
what I mean? Like, you know, with even the A cover, it's like, you know, whatever, I paid $1.89 for each copy, right? Like if that goes up to 10, I'm about to make 300 on just the A covers, right? Like, not even this week, in the future, right? And so,
yeah,
you know, sometimes I think that people are quick to be like, what's the flip now? Can I get it cheap? I wouldn't buy it at any more than like double ratio on the 1 in 10, but like you can stash a short box of books like this, and then when they're tripled in value, make a shit ton of money. Like, that's better than you would do in any stock market. And so even if it doesn't jump immediately, like, this is a good book to hold on to if she appears.
Yep.
But also look at this book, like Moon Knight has very few keys. It really does, considering how long he's been around. There's very few keys, and everyone's just jumping on every issue. Like Randall Specter is a $250 book at 9.8, and that's like, we could pick those out at dollar bins all day long. Still,
some of us did,
and I still do. And why wouldn't I? It's $250. But saying that, every key that she has will be worth something, and is already. She, regardless, even if she was not to go with the MCU, the potential that she could is enough to drive these very few keys up. Always.
It's a big thing with MCU spec. It doesn't actually have to happen. People just have to think it's going to happen for something to jump up. And I think that
the other thing is too, even regardless of the MCU spec, is that she's, you know, a really dope character, and she tends to be very low print run. So
yeah,
you know, as more people finding out about her and everything like that, especially like the back issue and everything, they're getting harder and harder to find, because, you know, she is a cool character and people just didn't know about her before.
Yeah, I think, you know, when you think of like Blade, though, I think that's kind of like the trigger there. Like, we're getting Blade, so you'll probably see Ulysses. So they might, you know, touch base on like the family side and things like that there. So I don't know. I've always liked Elsa. I liked it when the 9.8 wasn't a, you know, $1,400 book, but hey, it is what it is. I'm going to be picking this one up, you know, just for the fact that I like the character. There's not many covers, and I was lucky to get the 1 in 10. So, all right, Dynamite pick of the week. And guys, you know, if you're new, because I see some new faces and things like that, Mr. Minutes is looking for a show that you read books. So yeah, hopefully you find that wherever you look. Looking for a channel that focuses on content and not just FOMO profiteering.
Okay,
cool. All right.
Yeah.
Huh.
No one's forcing you to be here. So
yeah.
You know.
And I read everything. I read everything. So
yeah.
Like, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So all right. Anyway,
Mr. Minute sounds really fun at parties.
Just the guy in the corner.
Yeah.
Why is that guy near the plants? I don't know. All right, down to my pick of the week. It is literally just cover, because we can't really talk about the 200,752 books that come out with Dynamite every week. That's probably why we have a paper shortage. So It's just a quick book. Boom. Vampirella Verse. See what I did there? Vampy Verse, Newbie Verse, issue 5. You know, it's a badass cover. I don't know. I kind of like it. Not much to say about it. It's a $3.99 cover. Am I getting it? No, it's just the one that kind of popped out. Tim, if you're in here, you're probably not gonna like this pick. I can already tell, man. I just have a feeling. So yeah, there you go. All right.
Oh, no, that's not bad.
Right?
I know.
Fuck,
It
I
makes
think
me
I've got some good ones, man. I'm just going based on art, not just, you know, the
Yeah, it was an interesting cover. I like
Yeah.
it.
I'm torn on that because Rose Besh has been doing so many Dynamite covers, and I literally order every one. That would have been so dope as a Rose Besh cover. It's like just like the Silk cover, right? It's now I'm like mad, like it's a dope cover, but I'm mad Rose Besh didn't do it. So
Right?
Oh man. Yeah. All right, let's get into the comic news. Boom. Wonder Woman. Gail is sharing some information. So when she was asked, she said that we're developing the script right now, and we're probably going to be starting to film in a year and a half or so. So this is interesting, and here's why. Because I still haven't seen the second one. I haven't seen Wonder Woman 84.
Don't.
I haven't had.
Yeah, don't bother.
I've had zero plans to go see it, so this is interesting. But I think that this one might be one of those where they right their wrong. Right, a lot of people, me included, I loved number one. I thought it was really good, and I'm not the biggest DC guy. Then the second one came out. I think that they were just kind of over their head. They didn't really do it a good job from what I'm hearing and what I'm reading, right? Because clearly, I mean, the movie's been out for a year and a half. I still haven't seen it. So this is probably one of those movies where they're trying to right the wrong. Or is it just going to be one of those things where they just have like a Wonder Woman movie, but it's just connected to like, say, Batman or Flash or Aquaman, and they just kind of do this like team thing?
Future State Wonder Woman #1 first appearance of Yara Flora 9/8 is still going for $60. Like
What? No, man. It's like a $200. You think Yara's going to show up in this?
I don't think that she is, but I think Gal's getting older, and there's no heir apparent to Wonder Woman, right? Like, I don't necessarily think she's going to pop up, but that's all this says to me is, all right, they're making a third movie. I mean, Gal Gadot, like, we don't have to talk about her. I mean, she's amazing, but she's like 43 and is trying to have kids, right? They got to replace her. So anyway, that's just.
She's been in what? So she's been in Batman vs Superman, Justice League, the 2 Wonder Woman movies, the Zack Snyder cut. So 5 movies as Wonder Woman, right? So
Basically, yeah.
okay, yeah.
I actually don't think they're going to replace her anytime soon. Sorry to go against you, but the reason being is they're rebooting it all right now with Flash. It seems with multiverse and like the DC EU, and they're needing to hold on to a couple old guys for a bit. I think she's around for at least 5 or 6 more years, at least.
Yeah,
I think you are right. I think there will be a new person for sure.
Yeah, I mean the thing is that she's kind of one of those seminal actresses or castings that you can't. It's like the Hugh Jackman casting, right? Like,
yeah,
she's so perfect in the role that to try to replace Diana by a different actress is going to be really difficult. But to shift the role of Wonder Woman to a different character, I think is a little bit easier, right? And so, like when you say 5 to 6 years, I think that's agreeable, right? But how many movies is that? 2 or 3?
Yeah, I was going to say maybe that's 2
tops.
Yeah, and so Yara for the win. I mean, $60 for her first appearance in 9/8.
Dude, it is crazy that you can find it for $60 because up here the cheapest we can find. Well, I say we. Just Cruz has been there with me, Ozzy, but the cheapest I've been able to find that book in a 9/8 is about $250, and dealers do not want to go under that $200 threshold. I don't know why. I've offered $150, I've offered $160, I've offered $180, and they've never wanted to go under it. So I don't know.
I mean, eBay auctions. I mean, I know you're gonna have to pay crazy shipping, but yeah, they're going for 60 US eBay auctions.
That's worth it.
Yeah, and the thing is too is that there's not any other book for her. I know there's the metal book, but like there isn't the 1 in 50 or the 1 in 100. It's that book, and there's a few other variants. But that like one where she's on the green front cover.
Yeah.
Like I think I might have 70 copies of that book and like 8 or 9 in 9/8.
Damn it, man.
Yeah, because they were returnable. Right, so every shop ordered a shitload of them, and then when they didn't sell 600 copies of them, they all went to the dollar bins immediately versus sending them back to DC. And I was just so Yara, But anyway, good for Gal. Do your thing, homegirl.
Gal Gadot was a great pick as far as casting goes, but her movies have been not the greatest. She deserved better. Damn you, Warner Brothers.
Damn you.
Well, that's not completely inaccurate either. I mean,
No.
you know, thing is, Gal is awesome. The first Wonder Woman movie was great for about what 3/4 of the movie. Then it got to the shit with Ares, and it was like, you know, 84 was pretty horrible. And it just seems to be pretty consistent with DC. The bigger and bigger that they try and go with these movies, the fucking worse they are. Like this, make simple, self-contained movies and get that shit right, and then work on fucking expanding first.
That's kind of why I'm scared. Like, same conversation there, Face. I'm actually kind of scared about the Shazam because, like, at one point I was really pumped for it, right? Like, I enjoyed the first one. I think we would all act the same way in that movie if we were, fucking 14 years old and had superpowers.
Yeah.
But now with like The Rock coming and playing that role and them kind of putting all their eggs in that basket, I hope that they don't hype this up and it's a shit movie, because the numbers are gonna be up there regardless, because you're gonna have people that are just gonna go see it based on, oh, it's The Rock, right? Like, not necessarily knowing that it's a comic book character or anything like that. Just similar to what happened with Aquaman, right? I always talk about my mother and her girlfriends going to see that movie. They don't know that Aquaman is a comic book character. They just wanted to see Jason Momoa with no shirt on, right? Same thing here. I think a lot of the numbers, it's going to have great numbers, but I also think that it's just going to be basically because, oh, The Rock is in this movie, I want to go see The Rock, right? So I'm a little nervous that they don't have the same thing. I hope that Shazam 2 is a really good movie. I really do. Just Cruz is saying Shazam 2 screenings were not good. Fucking Christ.
I'm not surprised.
DC needs to take Jeff Johns, their version of Feige. For me, one of the most undervalued books is Venom 9, first full Dylan Brock. I'm kind of with Specs, man. I've ever since I've sold my 3 copies of Future State Wonder Woman 1, I've always been trying to get the one back, and it just never works out for me. So
yeah. I mean, I don't know much about like box office numbers, but like Brazil has to have a lot of potential box office like revenue, right? And like Yara,
it's like the 6th biggest in the world, I think.
Yeah, and Yara, and like what other Brazilian character we have across any of the MCU versus DCEU or anything like that? Like
it's true.
That's where I think Yara could come in, right? I mean, she's like Portuguese, huge box office, that kind of stuff. So I think it makes monetary sense too. So
nobody go and buy all the Wonder Woman Future State books now, okay? Just relax.
You're beat, newbie.
All right, this one might, Dan, if you're still in here, Dan, you're gonna love this, because Dan always tries to get us to kind of talk about Defenders. Well, Doctor Strange 2 promotional art reveals Cumberbatch's Defenders hairstyle. Something, nothing, or are we just overreacting? What's going on here, Specs? What do you think?
I don't know, man. This is kind of one of those movies that there's just so much going on with anything leaked or spec or whatever that I'm almost like keeping my hands off it, right? Like, how does all of this happen in one movie? So I don't really have any specific, the team thing is tough because it's like, what are they going to do? Like, hey, everyone, like, here's the Defenders. Like, yeah, it's like, okay, they might bring in half the team, but like half of them aren't in the MCU, and then there's Professor X, and there's this person and that person. It's, I don't know, man. Like, I'm almost staying away from Doctor Strange too. So,
Chris, what are your thoughts here, man? I know you're, big on the Defenders as well. Or, is it something, nothing? What could you?
I think it's nothing. I think it's somebody somewhere said the word Defender. I don't know who. I have a feeling it wasn't Marvel or anyone associated to Marvel. And that's that. And now everyone's like, it's Defender. It's Defender. Obviously, it's Defenders. The whole team's coming. Spec on the Defenders. We got to spec on the Defenders. FOMO. And then we just go down that path. No, I think it's like, yeah, he's got that hairstyle. It's a multiverse movie. There's probably multiple characters. I'm thinking this happens to be one of them. And we're just going to get a toy for it. And it's going to be cool. This movie's fucked up because it's being multiverse. They could walk down a path of going and looking through the windows of different multiverses for 5 minutes and see 500 characters, which could be really fun and really great. And like, we might be hearing all these little hints that things like that are happening, and like, but everyone's like betting on like a glimpse of something possibly or not. I don't know. So
I was very vocal about and first off, big shout outs to Ultra Maximus. He's in the house. What's going on, brother? How you doing?
this Harris Mephisto.
No. I was gonna say, I was pretty vocal on, when Spider-Man No Way Home came. I didn't really think that there was gonna be, and Chris, we had these discussions where I thought, like what we saw in the trailer was gonna be it. I think people were just making a lot of stretches to like get 500 characters in this movie. It's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
I've been saying for a long time, I was more excited for the Doctor Strange one just for the possibilities of the madness of, the multiverse and like what characters we could see and what stories we might be looking into just from the trailer itself. I mean, the trailer was like 40 seconds and I was like blown away. I'm like, what the fuck? Who? He's in it? What? That's it? Like, it was just one of those. And when you put into consideration, we're getting these rumors, Professor X and things like that, and all these characters and the evil Doctor Strange and this and that. Like, I think it's gonna be crazy. And I think, like you said, they might open a door and see a different world, and then they probably saw this haircut or something, and that's probably it. I think this movie is gonna be crazy though. Like, I really do.
I think so too. And I think there's gonna be a lot of stuff in it, but I really, being multiverse stuff, it's not like it's all going to be for the future. Like, if you're specking super heavy on some angle here, I really think long term it really isn't going to mean anything. Like, it's not 10 years from now, we're not all going to be like, Defender Cumberbatch is awesome. No one's going to give a shit.
They just did something similar in the Hawkeye series when they had Kingpin come in with the Hawaiian shirt on. That was an homage to a Spider-Man cover. So, this could be just the same type of thing. He just has that haircut because somebody thought it was cool when they threw it in the fucking movie, and it really means nothing.
Yeah. Haircut specs.
Player, right? I think this is such a stretch.
Yeah. I mean, but that's where, we go with our imagination, right? Of, and I always say the what if, and people are like, oh, like the show, the comic book. And I go, no. Like, just the what if, the imagination of like, okay, we see these, there's people who wake up and are constantly reading everything that comes out about a character or a movie or anything like that, or they live close to where they're shooting and they're taking 1,000 videos and 1,000 pictures, and they're like, oh my God, he's got a new haircut. So Defenders, right? And I think that that's what kind of we get in today's world with a lot of these movies, and that's what kind of generates a lot of things. I'd be surprised to see after this article came out what maybe happened with like a lot of Defender books, right? Because I'm assuming in our community, and we are all, we've all done it at least once, we jump on the FOMO, right? And hopefully people didn't fall for it too much. But yeah, I think it'd be a little too much if they brought all the Defenders or like half the team or just said the Defenders. I think it's nothing, but we'll see. All right, Spider-Man No Way Home reveals Rhino, Mysterio, Kraven, and other cameos. So speaking of the same thing, trying to get all that information. We've all seen the movie. Specs, Chris, Face. Yes. Oh, okay.
It was great. It was awesome.
Yeah. I haven't seen the movie.
So there is the one scene. There is the one scene right at the end where Doctor Strange is trying to close the portal. And for a split second, it goes up to the purple and you see like these figures kind of moving around. Well, there's somebody who there's a TikTok user, and he grabbed the footage of it. And basically the characters were Rhino, Kraven.
Well, I saw the Scorpion.
The Scorpion, and there was Black Cat too. There was Black Cat as well.
Was there?
Yeah. So a lot of people are saying, "Oh my God, that's them saying that these characters are going to come out and da 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 da." I mean, it could be something, could be nothing. Should we be worried about these characters? And if so, I mean, it's not really spec here because
because all those first appearances are cheap now. You should get them cheap,
right? Like,
Rhino and Scorpion are fucking
dirt cheap, $5.
Well, I will say Rhino. Have you guys checked in on the first appearance of Rhino lately? Because there's a lot of people going crazy, like buying that book, and the price that book is at, regardless of grade, is just ridiculous to me. Like, I remember that book being like 1/3 of what it is now.
Well,
It's
Newbie,
crazy.
I don't know if you checked the IG. Like everyone, we like Automatic Comics, and a few of us we talk on IG together in this little group chat. But Ryan's been watching an auction tonight, and he said all the Spider-Man books are going for like 3 times what he expected them to go for. Like just bizarrely expensive prices right now. People are just insane for it, which is rare because after a movie, most stuff does drop fairly quickly.
Yep.
But people are just crazy for it. But it's Spider-Man. He's the biggest character.
Do you think that maybe because Sony and Marvel already came out and said, hey, we got 3 more movies coming, that people are just getting ready for
the next
wave? You know what I mean? Like, because that could be
just excited. Right? I mean, they made a great movie. They simply made a great movie, and people were really on board. So I think that's it. So you didn't see this after Eternals, I'll tell you that.
I just hope that if we ever see a Rhino, I mean, okay, there's 2 things here. Okay, one, I don't want to see that goofy robotic version of it, but I also don't want to see this like jack dude in like tight gray Lululemon gear with like a big horn on his head. Like I also
think you kind of do.
That.
Well,
you know
what the
I mean?
fuck do you want then, Newbie? Shit.
What is there?
I don't know, man. Like maybe like he has like he's obviously he's got to be like a big dude. Maybe he's just got like a gray hoodie, right, and like a belt. Like he's got like
jeans. So he dresses like you, but with like a rhinoceros horn.
Yeah, and then he just has like a rhino horn on.
Hobo.
You know?
With a rhino horn.
Yeah. Something like that. I don't know. I just don't want to see him in the. I don't know. Man. I and Specs and I have talked about this on like how it transpires into like the movies, right? And like I just can't see them doing like a dude in like tight Lululemon gray shit. That's all, right? Can you?
No.
Let them worry about it then.
I spec on depictability is a big piece for me. Like, can they depict this character in a show or movie without making the whole entire movie about them? Right. And so there's some characters, yes, and some characters no. So yeah.
A gray fucking hoodie. Yeah, I don't know, man. I just think that, you know, it'd be good. I can't wait to see Craven. So hopefully that stays on point. Yeah.
I still think Hugh Jackman should play him.
Craven?
Yeah, it'd be awesome.
I think Jason Momoa should play him.
Yeah, that could be a good one.
He's already cast, isn't he?
What? Say that again?
He's already cast, isn't he?
I don't think anyone's
Yeah, he's already cast. It's the guy that played Quicksilver in
I don't think I'm pretty sure no one's cast. Is there? Really? They cast?
Yeah, it came out like
Marvel announced it?
Yeah, it was on
Sony announced it.
Sony
really?
Yeah.
He's getting his own movie or something, right?
Yeah.
Oh wow, I never knew that. Well, so the Quicksilver guy. That's actually pretty good casting. He's a good actor. Yeah.
Which means that he'll never be Quicksilver though again.
Aw.
Right. So we'll see. All right.
Well, they already killed him, right? So fuck it.
Yeah, it's true.
This one is close to my heart. And actually, I'm kind of pissed off because when I was doing my spec stuff, I actually had this book up, and then I noticed that like a lot of them were kind of selling. So I was like, wait a minute, why are they all selling? And then I saw this article, but the Ironheart rumored to bring a legacy Iron Man villain to the MCU. So it is not him, but it's actually Obaya Staines' son or daughter. They haven't really depicted like what it's gonna be because the
Zebediah Stane, is that his name?
That's it. Boom. There you go. So the son, there is a first appearance of a son in one of the comic books. It's actually been on like 2 of the hot 10 that came out on Friday and Saturday. So if you were, watching, say, CBSI or, some other ones, Cover Price, I think, might have it on Monday. So be on the lookout. But yeah, it's one of those books that is out in the wild still. So don't go out and pay crazy prices. But again, I don't know the longevity of the character. If it's just
the Order issue 7, I think it is, and it's really hard to get.
Say that again. Sorry,
isn't it the Order issue 7?
Yeah,
that we're looking. It's really hard to get. I've been looking for it. It's just one of those books that, like, if it's a store, it might be in a dollar bin, but it's rare to find it in any back issues. If it's a smaller store, they're just not going to have that book there.
Yeah,
because they would have blown it out long ago. I've been finding it very difficult personally.
Yeah. Specs, what are your thoughts here, man?
Yeah, if you find it in a dollar bin, pick it on up.
Do you have any copies of the book or no?
Let me check. let's see. You have 2 copies.
2 copies. Oh shit.
Like the order, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, pick it up. Like pick it up. I mean, we don't. This is obviously the Illuminati, so let's check credibility there. But is there any scene in the Iron Man movies that Obadiah appears in that he has kids or mentions a family or has a wife or anything like that?
And I also checked because I own all 3 movies and they're also on Disney Plus. But I also checked in some of the scenes where he's in, and he doesn't have a wedding ring or anything either, which I know doesn't mean shit because you don't have to necessarily have a wedding ring to have a kid. But there's no mention of it. There's no nothing. So
yeah,
I don't know. I think this could be far-fetched, to be honest with you. But
yeah, I would agree. I think that's a little bit. I mean, Marvel's smarter than that. You know, like they're not going to be like, oh, he had a wife and he had a kid and this is the kid and the kid runs the company. Like I feel like they like sunsetted Obadiah but as Iron Man 2, right? So it just seems like a weird stretch, but who knows?
Face, what are your thoughts, man?
Yeah, it's just one of those things. I mean, it feels like if they do, it'll kind of be as like a random, maybe one-off type of character. Maybe it was an illegitimate child. Like who knows? On the other end, yeah, I mean, it could be significant. It's just it's so hard to say until more details come out. I wouldn't get too excited about it just yet.
I know that I've said a few villains that I think could possibly be it. I know Specsman has one in particular that he thinks is going to be.
Yeah, like I feel like she has more appropriate villains that they don't really have to just create, some random ass.
Doesn't this feel like more like an Armor Wars thing?
That could be, yeah. That could be. That would make sense, actually, though.
Yeah, a little bit. I think with characters like Riri, even though like we've already seen like, Iron Man, obviously, like I feel like they don't have to hit a home run with like who her villain is going to be. They could just make it like, just get some random dude who's like a criminal warlord or do it like that, or like a tech guy, or you could do like what I said, maybe get her dad who is in the 10 rings, get like all that going where you could easily start that up in like a 6 to 8 episode thing where like basically it's leading up to like her finding out, her fighting the 10 rings or finding out about them. And then the end scene is like she finds out it's her dad and then he just kind of goes away and then that's how it ends. I really do think that could be kind of how they do it. With characters that we've never seen before, I don't think they always have to hit a home run. Everybody's always saying, oh, this character needs it. Like they're a big bad guy. Like why do they need it? Like let them build the story. If you take away their their biggest threat right away, what do you have if the character is successful, right? What are you going to do? Bring them back, right? So it just sometimes, I don't know. Chad saying Crimson Dynamo, Titanium Man. Yeah. Good.
There's a lot of options that they could bring in, and there's a lot of throwaway villains in the Iron Man series and everything like that too. That it just feels like creating one's convoluted. Now, if they create someone to have a significant role in the story, that would make a whole lot more sense. But yeah, like Vancouver said, that almost feels like it'd be more fleshed out in Armor Wars with that particular character.
Chris, can I ask you, Armor Wars? What do you think like a possible villain could be there? You think like this son or daughter combo thing could be it?
I think it's going to be Sam Rockwell from Iron Man.
Justin Hammer or whatever.
Yeah, that's what I think. I think he's going to create something with like alien tech, or I think it's going to be something like that.
Yeah. That's Iron Man 120 for all of you guys.
Yeah, I think he's going to, and there'll be a whole bunch of, a cast of, villains that are created from that. So
and then like
that's just me making shit up in my head. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, it could also be having to do with Roxxon, right? Like the Roxxon Corporation, right? Because they do a lot of mechanical stuff.
Yep.
They play heavy in Champions. They play heavy in Miles as well. So if it's going to be Armor Wars, you got to think there's going to be a lot of iron type characters on the hero side. But I just like you might need multiple villains, hence a corporation or something like that. So anyway,
it's funny, because like when you think about it, right, like Armored Wars, like you would think, okay, they're not going to have that title just for like one person. They're going to obviously have more. So you just got to look. All right. Newbie Spec of the week. I got a few books, but one of them I actually put on here just recently, just because Specsman was on here, and this is one of his books. And then the other one was because I kind of already had it up, and then it got hot. Not to say it was because of me, because I never talked about it, but you'll see what I mean. But let's talk about it again. Just a little beware. Nobody on this panel is telling you to buy any of these books. Neither am I. Don't stack 100 of them and then message me, by Wednesday being like, hey, I'm not rich from your recommendation. It doesn't work that way. So just, keep that in mind. All right. Specs. Spider-Man. What is it? Spider-Man No Ways Lost, No Way, Day One, Lost Days. I can't remember what the title is. First appearance of Elizabeth Tyne. Liz was the first girl in Holland's Spider-Man, by the way. So I don't know if that maybe connects anything. Could be something, could be nothing. Raw copies of this book are anywhere between $1 and $3. If you're up here in Canada, GTA area, they are out there. Importance of girlfriends to Spider-Man. So all the Spider-Man have their girlfriends kind of being the focal point of, why they do certain things and who they fight for, kind of thing. We've seen it with Mary Jane, Gwen Stacy, things like that. So who knows, especially if Ben Reilly comes. Oh, I should have put. So this is Ben Reilly's girlfriend. 9.8 selling between $50 and $60 Canadian, which means in the US they're probably selling for $40. Specsman, you were on it not too long ago. You were showing me some of it. You've got a little bit more knowledge with this book than I do. You could take it away, sir.
Yeah. I mean, we have Miguel, we have Miles, we have Spider-Man Noir, Peter Porker, all that stuff. But like, Ben Reilly has been Spider-Man longer than anybody else other than Peter Parker, right? And at some point, they're going to have to introduce Ben Reilly, whether it's into the Spider-Verse or something, whether he's Scarlet Spider, whether he's, who knows, right? And Ben Reilly is also the only monogamous Spider-Man, right? And that's with this girl, right? I mean, obviously Peter has the girls that he's dated. Miles has Starling and Gwen. And so, it's funny because I have ASM sitting right next to me, but she's in, multiple pages of every one of the current ASM runs with Ben Reilly in the Beyond Corp, right? And so, like, when I look at a book that's $50 at 9.8, it's a foil cover too, right? Harder to press.
Yep.
Right. With $50 plus 15 shipping, you're paying $65, which means that, you're basically paying the cost of grading plus $20, right? And I just think that she's a redhead, kind of similar to MJ. He like breaks her out of prison in the ASM run. Her name isn't Elizabeth Tyne in the ASM run. I think her name got changed, but yeah, I mean, Ben Reilly doesn't have multiple girls. Ben Reilly just has her, right? So if you're putting any onus on Ben Reilly and him getting his, moment in the sun for all the time he carried the Spider title on his back, well, Peter was, in the hospital because he got gassed by a UFO for 17 issues, right? Like, then why not? Like, this is a first appearance spec in a gold foil in a 90s book for a major character, like the clone of a major character, for less than $50 US. So yeah, that's my general.
It makes sense, right? If the character ever does show up, I always talk about how like you gotta kind of connect the dots with like characters. So like when we talk Miles, you can't really have Miles without talking about like his uncle or Spider-Gwen, things like that, right? Same with like when we talk about actual Spider-Man, you can't talk about Spider-Man without like say Green Goblin, a character that kind of just comes up to mind first. So we always have to think about that. So yeah, it is a good thing. Now, is this $1,000 book? No, but it is a book, right? So if you can get in on it early, you see how much it happens. You see what happens rather when FOMO hits or people start talking about a book, right? So if he ever did come up and this character is there, it could see a few bucks. Chris, are you familiar with this book?
You're muted, Chris.
Sorry. I am enough to know what it is, but it's just not on my radar. It wasn't on my radar. I've got so many other books that I'm going after that I've been going after. So But everything makes sense. I mean, it seems like one of those books that could show up on Key Collector for no reason at all, and it could be a $400 and 9.8 overnight. And
yeah,
I don't see why not over the next 5 or 6 years, because I mean, people are running out of, like, especially Spider-Man collectors. They're just going to run out of things to go after, and this will just be one of them down the road.
Yeah,
it's just the way it is.
Ben's getting his own series like next week or next month, right?
Yeah.
All this has to. The funny thing about books like this, all they have to do is hit a Key Collector app or hit some type of hot list, and you bought a 9.8 for $50, and people are looking at the 9.8s when you have, they're all bought up, and you have yours at 180, and they still think that's cheap, right?
Yeah.
So the ability for this book to double and triple compared to a $600 book to double and triple, not much has to happen for this book to jump 3x, 4x. So
yep, you're right.
Yeah, this is a pretty cool book. It was attached to the clonage storyline back in the day. I think it came out, like, I don't want to say it came out during the cloning storyline, but it might have been right towards the end. And I remember reading, some articles and everything about it when they were writing the story, that they were actually writing this originally with the intention that Ben Reilly was going to be Spider-Man moving forward. Okay, because I guess that's how they, initially approached the whole clonage saga. And of course they changed that later, so it had to be adjusted a little bit. But it's one of those 90s foil covers that's pretty cool. They always have problems in finding them in high grade because they get scratched up easily and everything like that. But yeah, it introduces a significant character to Ben Reilly, and his side of the universe. And with the Spider-Verse movies, the animated movies especially, it feels like it's only a matter of time before they introduce some version of Scarlet Spider and Ben Reilly. So
I hope they do. I really hope they do. Outside of like people dressing up as Spider-Man, the only other Spider-Man that I've seen in like big numbers has always been Ben Reilly. And I always feel like he's like the forgotten one, which makes no goddamn sense. But well, we're all on board, man. Yeah. So good pick. Yeah, it's just make sure, because there are a few of them out there. So just make sure, condition. They are foil. So look for scratches and things like that. Don't be afraid to kind of take it out of the bag to see, because sometimes you do have to do that with certain books, i.e. like Excalibur, that special edition one. Chris has actually told me, you do have to open that book because the back of the book is all black. So you have
nightmare. It's a nightmare back cover.
So sometimes it's not a bad idea to kind of open it. Obviously, ask your shop if you can open it, but I'm sure they wouldn't have a problem with you opening a $1 book. So switching gears here, we're going to Ironheart, and just like I said, so first appearance of Eclipse. I've mentioned this book many times. I have the book. I've sold this book. I still have it. I think Tim actually bought one from me, an extra copy that I had. Just kind of grabbing all the Ironheart keys. Keeping them, I think is important. It's a 12 issue run. Issue number 12 is super hard to get, especially in high grade. So make sure you get it. I had 3 copies of that, and I remember selling one of them for like $60. That's just how rare I guess it is. So, be on the lookout for them. But like Chris said, right, with some of these characters that don't have a lot of keys, make sure that you pick them all up, especially when they're cheap. This is a $2 to $5 book. Super undervalued. I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be this character that she fights or comes into, but she also has ties with 10 rings. And just like I said, right, having the 10 rings be an organization that is run by her father, where he kind of is the leader and has a few people alongside, it wouldn't be that crazy to kind of get somebody like Eclipse. So be on the lookout for it. Specs, what are your thoughts?
I made the mistake of seeing all these books in the dollar bins a year and a half ago and not picking them up. So, like, all the Ironheart books are gone. All the important Invincible Iron Man books with her in the run are gone. She's on the cover in her costume, which I think matters, right?
Yep.
So, yeah, if you can get it in some back issue bins, I would almost argue that any type of Ironheart books, I think it's only a 12 book run that you could get for $2, $1, whatever it may be. Pick it up. I mean, she's on the cover. Again, $1 could jump to $5. With any of this stuff. So yeah, I'd definitely be on the lookout. Definitely would pick it up at the $2 to $5 and go from there. So
I think this one's a no-brainer as well. It's like I think it has big potential to be a $300-400 book in 9.8 easily. Like, just by the time we get close to Ironheart, again, I go back to there's no keys. There's not a lot of them. So that's just how I feel. So yeah, why not grab it? $5 deal.
I mean, that's the thing though. If you're an Ironheart fan, there's so little material out there that, you know, it's pretty much all important. And Ultra Maximus really hit the nail on the head. 9 through 12 on this run are just super hard to find. They were really low print because, I mean, you know, it wasn't a hugely printed series to begin with. So if you've got them, definitely, you know, hold on to those things for sure right now. And, if you don't, man, and you come across some good deals, yeah, they're absolutely worth picking up.
This is funny to me though, because this is a run that I was talking about very early when I got into YouTube and like just put my name out there, and people were like, dude, what is wrong with you? Like, you're out of your mind. You're crazy. It's just because you're an Iron Man fan. And it's like, you know, there was only a handful of people who knew that, you know, 9 to 12 was super hard to get. And I remember seeing people sell like issue 12 for like $1. And I'd be like, yeah, I'll take that. I'll take that, you know? So sometimes you just kind of have to do your research. But again, with some of these characters, and I get it, you know, there's a lot of older or experienced collectors who don't like these new kids. They don't like these new characters. They don't want the new generation to come in. And I totally get that, right? But at the same time, they are going to come. They have their own properties. So if you see it, why not take advantage of it? Even if it's not for your character, you know, you could make a few bucks and put it towards something else. So just saying, it is out there. So be on the lookout for it. Again, a lot of people sleep on that stuff. So don't. All right. That's the show. Chris, Face, Specs, thanks for coming out, man. This is where I usually let you guys plug your stuff. We'll start with Chris. Chris, what's going on? Let the people know where they can connect and find you, sir.
IG and YouTube, Vancouver Comic Junkie. I am going to be doing some more videos soon. I promise. I've been derelict at my duties. But yeah, come to IG and say hi.
Specs, pop the cherry on YouTube today, man. Anything you want to let the people know? I mean, you got a great Instagram page. You post a lot of stuff that, you know, makes a lot of sense. Let the people know where they can find you.
At your local LCS, digging through the dollar bins.
I do not think we go to the same shop, but okay.
Bro, I will travel 4 keys. You know what I mean? So
we'll travel 4 keys. All right.
No, get a t-shirt of that.
But no, dude, seriously, thanks for hopping in, man. I'm glad that you popped the cherry here in the Newbieverse, man. I promised you I would get you on. I promised to get you back on. A lot of knowledge coming from you, man. And we seem to talk pretty much every day. You're in that, you know, chat with me where if I'm not talking to Chris and those guys, and I'm not talking to Face and those guys, I'm talking to you. So, you know, let's keep it going. No Bill Murray spec. No, man. No.
Oh, we skipped the CGC conversation too.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, yeah, we did think about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
What's the Bill Murray spec? Oh, yeah. Never mind.
The Bill
Apparently
Murray
playing a villain or something.
Yeah, and like somebody found something where he's like painted green, so people are going nuts saying, oh, it could be, you know, something to do with scrolls. Yeah, but anything could be, right?
Or he's wearing a green suit.
He's wearing green suit, or he's the Green Power Ranger.
Was that the character that they originally thought? Is he a green character? I actually don't know a whole lot about that character.
I don't know a lot about that character either. You know, it's funny though, because Jake at Spectales / Omega Reed, he actually, and Chris, you might like this, but he thought that it could be Psycho Man because it's green.
Interesting.
Huh. So I don't know. It could make sense. I don't know. It's just the fact that like Bill Murray is pretty old. So like, I don't know. Again, don't expect Bill Murray to play,
you know, got a lot of Psycho Man for
5-10 years. You know,
he's going to do it for 5 minutes and he's out.
That's it.
Right.
Like he's doing it between the time he went to a bar and he's got to go to the other bar.
Exactly. He's probably going to have the same screen time as he did in Space Jam
or Ghostbusters. The new one. Like he totally walked through that. It was like done in 10 minutes.
Face, plug your shit in, bro. Let the people know where they can find you.
Sure, you can check us out tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern over on Comic Kingpin's channel. We'll be doing our weekly Monday show. Previously on, we just hit 250 subscribers not too long ago, so we're gonna be having the giveaway shows for that coming up soon. Yeah, so definitely come by tomorrow, check us out. We got a lot of good donations for that 250 giveaway show from Dan De La Torre, Comic Ozzy, Newbie Comics, Got Slap 081 on IG. So the rest of the Kingpins, bunch of good guys, and we have guests come by all the time. We got to get Vancouver on at some point for sure. Definitely.
Yes, you do.
We were talking about that the other night. We got to get you to come over there and hang with us, and of course Specs too.
Yes, you do.
I'm down.
All right. That's the show. So tomorrow night, Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern time, you got the Comic Kingpins. Tuesday, we are going to be talking about future characters and the books that you should be on the lookout for. Some of them you might know. Some of them could be new to you. So any future characters, I think there's about 8 or 9 of them. So, come for a good time. Like I say, keep the popcorn warm. The Corona's cold. And enjoy your Star Wars show, people. And we will talk to you on New Comic Book Day Eve. Any last words before we go, guys?
We love you, Newbie.
Yeah, man. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, man, for sure. Won't be the last time, rather. I was going to say the first time. Won't be the first time you're on.
Pretty sure it will be the first time.
Yeah, it will be. All right, guys. Appreciate it. Stay safe. Enjoy your Monday. Fuck you, Cowboys. Woo!
Late.